I had just bought my dream house, right in the middle of the capital city in Asia. It was a steal, literally. The previous owners were family friends who hadn't lived here in years and needed the cash badly. They gave it to me for a fraction of its worth. But as sweet as the deal was, the house came with baggage, the kind that doesn't show up in real estate paperwork. The place was mid-renovation, dusty, half-finished, with a padlock for a main door and no gate. It looked abandoned. And apparently, that's exactly what the neighborhood thought too. Because when I moved in, someone's motorcycle was already parked inside my garage like they owned the damn place. I wheeled out onto the street and had a proper gate installed that very day. A few hours later, an angry man started banging on my gate, demanding his bike. I didn't even bother answering. I watched from my window as he paced, cursed, and finally gave up after 15 minutes. He retrieved his bike and left. I should have known right then that this wasn't going to be a quiet neighborhood. For a few weeks, things were calm, but I started noticing something weird. My water pressure would suddenly drop. Not always, just during random times. Then one day, as I stood under a weak shower, I heard the low, humming whine of a water pump coming from my neighbor's property next door. Now, let me tell you about this neighbor. An old, bitter man living on the first floor of a 3-story building. The upper 2 floors were rented out. My family friends, the previous owners, had warned me about him, said he was furious when the house was sold. Something about how he liked having an abandoned house next door. I'm a 6-foot guy with 3 dogs. I didn't worry much. He never tried anything direct. But now, something wasn't adding up. His pump kicked on, and suddenly, my water pressure vanished. When his pump stopped, it came back. Once as a coincidence, twice as a pattern. I had a gut feeling, so I started testing it. I tried different faucets, different times of day. Every time his pump ran, my water disappeared. That's when it hit me. That bitter old man was siphoning water from my house. And this wasn't new. My water bills had been suspiciously high for years, even when no one was living here. We always blamed it on old pipes or minor leaks. But now it made sense. This man, this petty, entitled old man, had been tapping into the empty house next door, saving his own money while bleeding mine. At first, I thought maybe I should confront him, or go the legal route. But then I thought, no, this wasn't about a few dollars. Water in my country is dirt cheap, $5 a month, tops. Even with dogs, a garden, a car to wash. This wasn't about money. It was about principle. It was about someone thinking they could take what wasn't theirs and never be held accountable. So I started planning. I didn't need to confront him. I didn't need to threaten him. I just needed to stop the water. On Monday, 4 days ago, I waited. I sat near the main valve, listening for the telltale hum of his pump. The moment it clicked on, I flicked my own water supply off at the mains. Now, here's the thing about how water pumps work in my country. When the water level in a rooftop tank is low, a sensor tells the pump to turn on. If water flows in, it fills the tank and shuts off automatically. But if there's no water, the pump keeps running, forever. And running a pump dry, that's a death sentence. For the pump, for the wiring, for the fuse box. That night, the fuse box died. At 3 a.m., I was woken by distant shouting. Turns out, the pump had drawn power all night, desperately trying to suck water from pipes that weren't giving it anything. The wiring, ancient and fragile, melted under strain. No water, no electricity, nothing. The tenants were furious. And in my country, power and water aren't luxuries. They're legal necessities. By morning, one tenant was already packing. Another was on the phone with the police, filing an official complaint. The old man, he was scrambling, confused, broke, cornered. The tenants left. The police issued a fine. A big one, $500, a crushing amount where I live. Add to that, he now had to refund both tenant security deposits, repair the wiring, and fix the water issues. But it gets better. He couldn't afford it. He's a retired mechanic. His only income came from the rent those tenants paid. With them gone and the house a mess, he had nothing. He's being forced to move in with his daughter this Sunday. The cherry on top, he showed up at my gate a day later. Calm, controlled. Did you turn off your water supply? He asked. I smiled casually. Oh, yeah, my tank had a leak. Had to shut it off till the plumber came. The look on his face was priceless. He said, "Oh, okay," and walked away. But I know he knew, and he knows I know. But here's the best part. He can't do anything. I didn't lay a finger on him. I didn't break the law. I didn't touch his property. All I did was stop giving him what wasn't his to begin with.